Just want to thank my gamer supporter, Zombie Desuka, for making this video possible. Thank you very much, Zombie, for your support on Game Wisp. It means a lot. Thank you very much for being fantastic, amazing, wonderful, and fabulous all at the same time. Thank you very much for that. And if you want to support me too, consider hitting the support me link in the description and heading over to my Game Wisp. Lots of cool rewards on offer. Check it out. Thanks once again, Zombie. Hi guys, it's Minx here. I hope you're doing well, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to talk a bit about copyright, and more particularly content ID on YouTube relating to gaming. A lot of you ask me questions about this all the time, and I feel there's a lot of misinformation out there about what content ID is and how the system works and ways of avoiding content ID matches in particular. So let's get into it, shall we? First of all, content ID is different to a copyright strike. Copyright strikes are really bad. Content ID is also very bad, but it is decidedly less bad than a copyright strike. Today we are talking about content ID, not copyright strikes. I want to make that clear. A content ID match tends to happen, although not always, when a company puts into the YouTube algorithm, you can upload into the YouTube algorithm itself samples of video and audio that they say belong to them. And when you upload a video to YouTube, if your content matches what's stored in the algorithm, then that video will be claimed by that company. It will say, oh, you've actually uploaded something belonging to a company. This company is now monetizing this video, or perhaps blocking this video, or perhaps blocking it from being viewed in certain countries. There's lots of things that can happen from someone content IDing your video, essentially. So, what can you do to stop this happening? Well, here are some of my pro tips. Number one, avoid certain companies. There's certain companies that love to content ID. Oh, they fucking love it. They think it is one of the greatest things ever, and they love making money from content creators by doing it. And I'm of the opinion, myself, that YouTube gaming content is basically free advertising for companies, so I think it's pretty shitty for a company to go around monetizing said content in their name, and also profiting from the free advertising at the same time. That's my view. Obviously, I'm sure some people have different views to me, but that's probably a view a lot of us who do gaming content on YouTube share. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be doing it as a job. So, you know. Essentially, there are a few companies that are very bad. Number one is Konami. Konami are really fucking bad. In my opinion, you should not upload any games belonging to Konami if you want to avoid content ID. I don't think they deserve the promotion. I think they're a really shitty company to deal with. I had to take down all my Silent Hill videos. I had playthroughs of all the old Silent Hill games on my old channel, and I had to remove them all because Konami is Konami, as Jim Sterling would say, and fuck Konami. They are just not worth your time or energy in terms of being a content creator, and you will definitely get claimed if you make videos based around them, essentially. So yeah, Metal Gear Solid, no, I'm afraid. Silent Hill, no. Probably not good ideas. And now, especially if you're a big Kojima fan, and he's jumped ship now. He's not with those fuckers anymore. So don't worry about it. You can support him and his new game coming out, and you don't have to support Konami anymore. Also, everyone's favorite game publisher, Nintendo. They're really bad to deal with content ID matches. They love to claim content ID on their games, on their soundtracks, even their sound effects and stuff like that. In the past, they claimed the fucking jump noise that Mario made and shit like that. They're really fucking bad. They're really, really fucking bad. But Minx, one of my favourite YouTubers does Nintendo videos all the time. That's because Nintendo do have deals with certain companies, with certain YouTubers, I should say, and as a result, you know, they let some stuff slide. There's a big content creator, Nintendo might have a deal with them. The channel might be protected by a network in some way, so they're not going to get any content ID matches placed on their channel. You know, Nintendo won't be able to do that. There is ways of getting around it, and I'm not having a pop at the people who do play Nintendo stuff on their channel. It's just something I wouldn't do because I feel Nintendo, in general, will be pretty harsh and pretty bad to smaller content creators. And that's just my thoughts on the matter. Avoid Nintendo, in my humble opinion. There's other game publishers that are probably worth avoiding as well. Atlas has been pretty shitty as well to me a few times. Atlas once even claimed a game that they published in the US, even though I was playing the European version. They claimed the US version and wouldn't release their claims on the EU version, which was pretty shitty and shady in my opinion. So thanks for that, Atlas. 10 out of 10. Best publisher ever. I've heard some shenanigans going on with Persona 5 recently as well. So, Atlas, sort yourselves out. There are other companies that have been shitty over the years, but in general, I feel most companies have improved a lot over the last 2 and 3 years in particular, and a lot more accepting of YouTube gaming content and view it as a wonderful promotional tool. So, they're the ones that I'm going to single out, those 3. In my experiences, they have not been great to deal with, and you should probably avoid them. In the future, they might update their policies, you never know, but at the moment, I still hear regular reports of people having problems with Content ID relating to those 3 companies in particular. So, you know. My other tips for avoiding Content ID is check the music soundtracks, guys. Don't upload Grand Theft Auto 5 with your car radio blaring, full of copyrighted music, licensed music, and be like, oh, my video got claimed. What is this? The music industry doesn't care. It doesn't care. If it's a licensed song, they're going to claim your video. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much entirely what they are going to do. If you're playing an indie game, especially a free indie game, check the soundtrack to make sure they haven't used like popular music or copyrighted music in the soundtrack. I fell afoul of this really recently, and it's a real problem. Like, a lot of indie devs will be like, as I'm not making any money from this, I'm just going to download my favorite album and use that as a soundtrack, which isn't very helpful for us, but I can understand why they're not thinking, well, someone's going to record this and put it on YouTube. So, you know, I think that you need to be very careful and check thoroughly the music soundtrack, you know, that you're using in the game to make sure it isn't something that's copyrighted, basically. So definitely pay attention to that one. Of course, there is always a chance you'll get a Content ID match, even if you don't follow careful procedures to make sure that you don't get one. There's often cases where people will upload pretty much random bits of games into YouTube's Content ID algorithm. There has been instances in the past where troll companies basically have been like, well, you know, I'm going to claim every bit of Half-Life even though I'm not Valve and that kind of thing, and try and get away with it. Fortunately, while it's still broken that companies can put in troll Content ID claims in the first place, YouTube have taken steps to make sure that this doesn't happen in a, you know, doesn't negatively impact the user as much as it used to. For example, a troll company might claim a few seconds of your video and take all the money from that video. But if they're not really the company, if it's like a troll claim, you can put in a counterclaim, and now the money will be held until the counterclaim is settled, and whoever wins the counterclaim will get the money from the video. So they're not going to be able to steal money away from you like they used to. So YouTube have put in a fairer system to deal with Content ID disputes, to handle the Content ID trolls, as it were, which is a good step. I've not been flattering to YouTube recently. I've been shitting all over YouTube, in fact, but that is something positive that YouTube did in order to improve their situation with us. They may have fucked the algorithm still, and generally just fucked my channel in particular, and many other channels too. But, you know, they do some things right, and credit where credit's due. That is a big improvement. I would say that Content ID is something that's probably never going to go away. I think YouTube's pretty proud of what they've created in helping, you know, find copyrighted content on the website. And I understand that they're probably under pressure from like large companies to maintain something like Content ID. It's not going to be going away. But if you follow the steps I said here, avoid certain companies, be very careful with the music that's included in the game, cut out the music if it's a licensed soundtrack, or pay attention to make sure that your favorite indie developers haven't just whacked random music they don't have permission to use into their games, then you'll probably be okay. There will be some exceptions. There may even been some genuine exceptions where a company's just like, actually, I just want to be a dick, and I'm going to claim this, it's ours. And there's not a lot you can do when that happens. You just have to file a counterclaim. Hopefully you'll win. If not, you know, the video might be taken down, or they might even give you a strike. So there is always a risk to filing a counterclaim. You might get like a DMCA strike, or copyright strike as it's called, instead, if they're feeling pretty vindictive. But in my experience, if you file a counterclaim, you usually win, and if you don't, they'll just keep making money from your video, and you can be like, okay, fuck it, I'm deleting the video to show these cunts who's boss in the first place. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little insight into my thoughts on Content ID and handling the system, as it were. I hope it's helped some of you who consider making gaming channels and stuff on YouTube or whatever. I hope it's given some clue. I will say that, like, large channels, I mentioned before, large channels are called managed channels. They're often protected from the Content ID. So if you're a managed channel, you won't show up in the algorithm searches, so your video is not going to get claimed for Content ID. So that's how a lot of large channels probably get away with playing some of the things that I mentioned here, and having some of the things I mentioned here in their videos. But the vast majority of people are going to have to deal with this on a base level, and I hope that gave you some information in terms of dealing with the problem and helping yourself make some good content. Anyway, guys, have a great day. Bye for now. Bye for now. If you enjoyed this commentary type video and you want to see more, please let me know in the comment section. If you have any topics you'd like me to talk about, if you have any perhaps videos that you feel might be worth my responding to, please let me know in the comment section as well. I'm going to be doing a lot more of this type of stuff, and I'll see you guys really soon. I hope you have a great day. Bye for now. Bye for now.